Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to do an upgrade on our MIG-205DS Pro by YesWelder. We have the aluminum spool gun with this machine. We're going to go through kind of the differences between your Miller connector, your Lincoln connector, and the Euro connector. Remember, the MIG-DS Pro has the Euro connector on it, so when you order your spool gun, make sure you order the spool gun with the Euro connector. We're gonna hook this thing up, put some wire in it, show you the features, and we're gonna weld some aluminum with this with some argon gas, right? This is your Euro connector. It has a little threaded coupling on it that's gonna secure that to the unit. There's your communication wire, your little trigger wire right here, right? You got a couple more communication pins inside the connector itself. Now, if you look at the Lincoln and Miller connectors, right, totally different setup. You want to make sure that you get the correct connector. YesWelder sells all three, right? The Lincoln, they have a Miller, and they have the Euro connector. What's great about the Euro connector, it's actually becoming a lot more popular in the United States, right? It's not as proprietary as your Lincoln or your Miller. These, most of your home hobbyist welders are gonna have this Euro connector. Like I say, just make sure you get the right one. This kit is gonna come, right? This is the LBT150. It's gonna come with the spool gun. The reason you need a spool gun is if you're gonna be welding with aluminum, aluminum's kind of sticky, right? It binds up with other material. With the spool gun, you've limited the distance that wire has to travel from your tip, right, from the spool. So all the mechanisms that are actually inside of the welder are in the spool gun right here. So you don't have any of that jumpy binding. If you're trying to weld with aluminum and you have a nice bead running and that wire binds up, you're gonna have gaps, you're gonna have sputtering, you're gonna lose your arc. So that's why you use the spool gun. The spool gun is gonna come with the 030, 035 dual roller, right? And it has the 035 tip already pre-installed on it. I like the nozzle here, right? The cone, it just slides on, slides off, no threads to worry about sticking. We do have a spool of aluminum wire. We do have some argon. We're gonna put the correct spool on for the wire size and start this up. Remember, YesWelder sent me this to bring you guys an up-close look, and they're sponsoring this video. We have all these products down in the description below. If you have any questions, reach out, and I'll try to answer them for you. One of the questions I had on the other video was, which way do you put the dual groove roller in? So let's take a look at this 0.045. This also applies to the rollers inside the unit. But this is a 045 040 roller, right? And if you can see here, the large groove is on my right-hand side. So when you put this in, this groove is gonna face the back. It's gonna be in the back of the unit. And you want the 045, you wanna be able to see that. So if you want 045 wire, you put it in this way. If you want 040 wire, you put it in this way. We're gonna be running 035 wire. And this is how we wanna install this. 035 is facing us. That wire, it's hard to see, but when that wire comes through the dual spool, it's gonna come through the bottom groove, which is gonna be the larger of the two grooves. And that's how you install that. The user manual that it comes with is so intuitive, it's so easy to understand and read. If we're switching over to the spool gun, all we gotta do is open it up to the page, set up for welding with spool gun, follow the simple instructions, and you're good to go. We're gonna go ahead and remove the torch, the MIG torch, and you can see here that we've left the spool intact. We cut the wire, run it through our little holder loop here, right? We can just leave that wire in place. It's a good spot for it. And then we pull the wire out of your regular torch, throw that away, and now we can disconnect this torch. Nice about the Euro connectors, has this little spin lock on it. Just loosen that up. and pull that out, right? Just reverse the steps, except the spool gun is gonna have your trigger switch. Put that right into place and it'll go right in and tighten that up. Right, snug that down. And we're gonna put our 2-pin trigger connector right into the 2-pin connector down here. Now we have to switch the leads because with the aluminum welding with 100% argon, we want DC, right, direct current electrode, which is gonna be this wire coming out right here is your electrode, which is your spool gun, connected to your spool gun. So DC electrode, positive. Right now we have a DC electrode negative. Let's go ahead and switch these out. This is our ground clamp right here. All right, so now we have DC electrode positive. We're all ready to go. Okay, let's go ahead and load the spool gun up. We're using 035 aluminum, right? We have the 035 roller in position. Go ahead and nip this off. Make sure you're really careful when you nip this, that this thing doesn't come unravel on you. So make sure you're holding on to it. We're gonna go ahead and unscrew the little bolt here, pull our holder off. We're just gonna feed it into the hole here. Set that right into place. All right, we're gonna turn the unit on. There's a button right here on the bottom left. It says spool gun. We're gonna turn that on. That gives control over to the spool gun. And we have this inching button. We can use this inching button to inch the wire until it comes right out. You'll see. There it is, right there. And we can go ahead and nip that off. And we're ready to set this welder up for welding. Our last step here, we're gonna go ahead and hook up our argon regulator and argon bottle. You don't want to torque it down too much. We'll put a little wrench on that just to get it just snug. All right, this is going to be the first time I've ever welded aluminum with the MIG machine. Did a little quick online research, figured out the settings. We're using 035 wire, 1/4 inch aluminum, right? We're going to set the parameters on this, right? Of course, we want the spool gun. When you put it in spool gun, it's going to automatically go to MIG manual mode. We have it set on aluminum gas with argon, actually argon gas with aluminum. Our wire speed is 401 inches per minute. Our voltage is going to be 22.2 volts, right? 0.035 is our wire size. So we're going to go ahead and get this set up. We got the aluminum all clean. We're going to try this out. Wow, first time ever welding aluminum, and I think I did pretty good at it. We're gonna let this cool off. We'll show you the weld. Of course I need some practice, but I mean, it worked, amazing. Let's clean that up, take a look. Wow, not too bad for an amateur. A little bit of practice and I'll have this down, but wow, just the ability to be able to weld aluminum, super easy. I think I'm gonna run another bead on this other side where I tacked it and see if we can see how this works. Wow, that went even better. A little bit of spatter in the beginning. I was kind of holding it a little far off, but that is turning out better. Steady hand and some practice. You can see here, kind of started out rough and then, but look at that, it just started stacking up nice. But that's not going anywhere, I'll tell you that. So yeah, the spool gun addition to this YesWelder 205DS Pro, and it's got the LBT150 spool gun. Game changer for me, just really opened me up to a lot more options. I'm super happy with it, and thanks to YesWelder for sponsoring this video. This video is for amateurs. I'm an amateur. Just want to show you how easy it is to weld aluminum. Worked out great. So from Stonebrook Adventure, until next time, bloop.